Hi, I'm Caroline from Stockport Jobs Match. For today's daily reel as part of Post 16 Careers Week, I'm going to talk to you about preparing for your next steps at 16 and 18. We're going to start by recapping on all of the available options at 16, then at 18 to make sure you know what's on offer. We'll then look at what you need to progress at each stage, from submitting applications to attending open days, writing personal statements to having interviews. And finally, we'll go through some of the practical things that you might need to consider, from budgets to travel passes and the places that you can go to for support. So first up, at 16, once you finish your GCSEs and leave secondary school, there are lots of different study options available to you. So it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So I'm just going to give a quick recap on all of those. First up, A-levels. So they're considered to be the more academic choice. They're a level 3 qualification, which is studied over 2 years with an endpoint assessment or exam. You choose subjects, usually 2, 3 or 4, and often you'll need to have achieved 5 GCSE passes, grades 9 to 4, including a grade 5 or above in the subject you want to study. Then you've got T-levels, which are also a level 3 qualification studied over 2 years, but you only choose 1 T-level subject, and it's the equivalent of taking 3 A-levels. You'll spend 80% of your time in a classroom setting at a college, then 20%, that's 45 days per academic year, completing an industry placement with an employer. Now, you can study a T-level in over 20 different subject areas, from construction to digital, engineering to animal care, accounting to beauty therapy. Next, you've got BTECs, which are a specialist work-related qualification that combine practical learning with subject theory and content. You can study BTECs at a level 2 or a level 3, alongside GCSEs or an A-level, or as part of an apprenticeship. There's over 2,000 different BTEC qualifications to choose from, and they're assessed by a mix of coursework, work experience and exams, depending on what you study. NVQs, they're a good choice if you know what job you'd like to do. So they're available at levels 1 to 5, so you can start at a level that suits you and work your way up. You can study them at school, college or in a job, and they're assessed by testing your abilities in the workplace, for example, an observation and a portfolio assessment. You've got apprenticeships, which is obviously an opportunity to work and study at the same time. So you spend 80% of your time in a job, and then 20% of your time completing training and working towards a qualification. You get paid a salary, just like a normal employee, and you can study an apprenticeship from level 1 all the way up to level 7, which is equivalent to a master's degree. You've got traineeships, which is a course with work experience that gets you ready for work or an apprenticeship. Now, it can last from 6 weeks up to 1 year, though most last for less than 6 months. Study programmes, which are designed to meet your individual learning needs and prepare you for higher learning, training or employment. Each person's programme varies, and your school and college can explain more about how your programme details reflect your individual needs, abilities and ambitions. Or you might also opt for GCSE resits or other forms of part-time study alongside part-time employment. So lots to choose from. At 18, when you finish college, sixth form, an apprenticeship or vocational qualifications, there's even more choices available to you for further study or employment. And these include a HNC course, which is equivalent to the first year of a degree and can take between 1 and 2 years to complete, followed by a HND course, which is equivalent to the second year of a university degree and can be converted to a full bachelor's degree by studying a 1-year top-up course. Now, HNCs and HNDs focus on learning by doing and give skills that you can use in a particular job. They're highly valued by employers and can also count towards membership of professional bodies and other employer organisations. You can study at HE college or university, full-time, part-time or by distance learning. Undergraduate degrees, so like a foundation degree or a bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Arts, Science, Education, Engineering, Law or Medicine. So a bachelor's degree involves studying 1 or sometimes 2 subjects in detail. It's the most common undergraduate degree in the UK, and it's a level 6 qualification. It'll typically take 3 years to complete if you're studying full time, and some courses such as those with a year or abroad or placement year can take 4 years. You've then got higher apprenticeships, which go from level 4 to level 7 and are equivalent to a foundation degree and above. So degree apprenticeships are available at level 6 and 7 and are equivalent to a full bachelor's degree or a master's degree. Like other levels of apprenticeship, you can apply for a higher or degree apprenticeship in the same way as you apply for a job. So applications can be competitive, and you'll need to check the entry requirements first, as they differ by course and employer. You earn a salary as you complete the apprenticeship, and they can take 2 to 5 years to complete. You could also choose to continue your studies at level 3, which might include further A-levels, T-levels, apprenticeships, BTECs or NVQs, or you could opt for full-time or part-time employment, self-employment or volunteering, or you could choose to complete a short vocational or pre-employment course. Now, I just wanted to give you a quick example of some of the adult courses that are available as fully funded, that means free, options up until the age of 25 or 30 if you aren't in any other form of education or employment. So if you finish college sixth form or an apprenticeship and you're not currently studying or working elsewhere, these are a fantastic way to take on a short course to top up your skills and often linked to an employment opportunity at the end. So you've got ones linked to functional skills. So if you don't have the essential skills you needed for everyday things like maths, English or digital skills, you can learn these and study towards a range of free qualifications from entry level up to level 2 if required. So often good to know if you're taking on an apprenticeship later. You've got skills boot camp. So if you're age 19 and over and you're looking to change sectors or progress in your current industry, a skills boot camp could be your next step to a better job. So they're flexible courses that last up to 16 weeks and allow you to gain the skills that employers are looking for. You'll also have a guaranteed job interview at the end of the course with a local employer. Now, for most skills boot camps, no previous knowledge in the subject is needed. You'll just need a good grasp of the English language and the willingness to learn new skills. And skills boot camps are designed to be flexible, so you can fit the learning around your family or other commitments. Now, there's hundreds of different courses available throughout the year in areas such as digital, so skills like data engineering, software development or digital marketing. Technical skills, so things like construction or engineering, and green skills, so things like electric vehicles, retrofitting and heat pump technology. So some really relevant things. Then you've got SWAPs or sector-based work academy programs. So they're available if you're looking for a job and you're claiming benefits like universal credit, job seekers allowance or employment support allowance. So they last up to 6 weeks and they'll include some form of pre-employment training, work experience with an employer in the industry, and at the end of the programme, either a job interview with an employer in the sector or help applying for relevant jobs. So these are completely free courses that you can take if you're currently claiming benefits after you finish full-time education. And then there's also lots of free online learning. So things like the Skills Toolkit, free Microsoft courses, Google courses, LinkedIn training, and Ideas Skills badges. And these are all available for free online to top up your skills and boost your CV. So if you don't find work or go on to further study after you finish college or sixth form, be sure to find out about them. Now, you can find out about some of the courses on the Stockport Jobs Match website by going to our training hub. And there, just to give you a few examples, you'll find things like Get Hired courses from the Prince's Trust, the TikTok Creativity Programme from Catch 22, and coding boot camps from the likes of Skill City, Digital Edge and Mad Lab. So it's safe to say that there's lots of options to continue learning and developing new skills over the next few years, regardless of which path you choose. So wherever your studies lead, don't forget that there's always options available for you to take advantage of. Now, getting back to the task at hand, once you know what your options are, The next stage is to choose where you'd like to study. And that means attending college or university open days or popping along to job fairs and recruitment events. These can feel a little daunting, but there's lots of things that you can do to make sure that you get the most out of the day. So we've got a video on the website for college and sixth form open days that was recorded by local providers to give you an insight onto how to prepare for them specifically. But just a couple of top tips for before you go. So make sure you've done your research. Look into the programmes offered, the entry requirements, and any specific details about what's going to happen on the day. So lots of them often have kind of sessions that they're running or different things happening at different parts of the campus to make sure that you can tailor your visits. Make a list of questions to ask about subjects, courses, support services, and any other aspects that are going to affect your decision. So whatever's on your criteria, make sure you plan to ask those questions. Think about your journey to avoid any unnecessary stress on the day, and also consider who you might take with you for support. You only get one opportunity to do this, so think about whether you want to go along with your friends or a family member, or whether you just want to go along on your own so that you can listen and do exactly what it is that you need to get out of the day. Now, on the day itself, make sure you attend any presentations or workshops on the courses or subjects you're interested in. Take lots of notes and ask questions. If you don't want to do that in a public forum, there'll be lots of time to speak to a tutor separately. Make sure you visit all areas of the campus, particularly ones where you're going to be learning, but also the full range of facilities or accommodations, and try to just envisage yourself studying or socialising in these spaces. Try to engage with the course tutors, with the hiring managers, current students or employees, and ask about workload and extracurricular activities to get a really well-rounded perspective. And don't forget to find out about support services that you might need to access to. So after the open event or jobs fair, think about all the information that you have gathered. Go back to your original decision-making criteria and think about how each company, provider or course aligned with your original goals. Consider the learning or the working environment, compare the qualifications and the training structure, think about the wider opportunities to gain experience, develop new skills, make new friends and progress in your career. Now, once you've decided where to study, the next step is submitting your application. So whether you're heading off to college, sixth form, university, HE college, starting an apprenticeship or applying for a job, you'll need to complete an online application form. Now, just breaking that down slightly for the different viewers, if you're currently at secondary school, you can start applying for courses in October and November when you're in year 11. Now, the application window usually remains open until the end of the spring term, but spaces can still be available right up until the start of the academic year you'll be enrolling on for some providers. If you're at college or sixth form and applying to university for courses starting in, say, September 2024, you'll have to apply by the 15th of October this year if you're heading off to Oxford or Cambridge, or for most courses in medicine, veterinary medicine and science, and dentistry. Or you have until the 25th of January 2024 for the majority of other courses. And you can check which deadline applies to you on the UCAS website, or put that back a year if you're going to be applying to start in 2025 or beyond. If you're applying for an apprenticeship or job, opportunities are posted all year round, but some employers launch these during National Apprenticeship Week in February, and larger employers may have specific start dates, often in September or January, so that they can hire a group of apprentices to start at the same time, or to correspond to peaks in their business. So January for the start of a new financial budget, or April after the start of a new financial year, or in September after they've got holiday periods out of the way and time to train new staff. Now, for all online application forms, you'll likely need a few staple things. So first of all, your contact details and information about your personal circumstances. You'll need your education history from secondary school onwards or your predicted grades. You'll need your employment history or work experience if you have any, including details of any volunteer work you've done. You'll need your preferred course choice or choices or your desired apprenticeship standard. You'll need a personal statement explaining why you'd like to apply to that particular course, provision, so college or university, or to that employer specifically. You'll likely need written recommendation or references, either from your current place of study or from previous employment, or a character reference. You will most likely need some form of school or college leaver CV, and in some instances you'll also be required to take an online test, so you'll need those results as well. Now, once your application form has been accepted, the college, university or employer will invite you to go to an interview where they'll ask you questions about yourself, why you would like to go to their college or university or join their company and start an apprenticeship or a job. And they'll expect you to tell them a bit more about yourself and what you have to offer. From there, they may make you an offer to join the course or start the apprenticeship or job, depending on the grades you achieve or other outcomes like reference collection or tests, for example. Now, interviews aren't everyone's favourite thing, but with a bit of preparation, you can do well. They'll be looking for enthusiastic applicants with lots of transferable skills to offer. Someone who can work independently and consider new ideas, someone who will thrive, sees the opportunity and is well suited to the course or team. Now, your tutor or your careers advisor will be able to help you prepare by completing mock interviews, or you can do this at home with friends or family members, or even online by filming yourself answering a set of questions and watching your answers back to critique how you responded. There's plenty of top tips and advice available on the Stockport Jobs Match website, including the most common interview questions you'll likely be asked and how to give a great response. Now, to get you ready for all these stages, you should start by writing yourself a checklist of what you need to do and by when and what resources you'll need along the way. You'll most likely need to think about practical aspects such as copies of your ID, so your NI number, passport, driving licence or visa, references from tutors, employers or character referees, bank accounts for finance and budgeting, including things like student discount cards, grant or student loan applications, transport, so think about things like free travel passes, the R-Pass, student rail cards, maybe getting a bike or passing your driving test. You'll need your equipment, so laptop or tablet, textbook, planners, organisers, stationery, basic things. You might need to think about accommodation or things for leaving home. You'll also need a plan for results day or clearing. You might need your course or provider acceptance or admission letters, and you'll need to know about things like enrolment dates and sign-up information so that you can make sure you're hitting all of those milestones. Now, hopefully today's reel has given you lots of great information on how to prepare for next steps at 16 and 18 and some practical tips of what you'll need. As part of Post-16 Careers Week, there's lots of tools available on the Stockport Jobs Match website to help you start putting some of these ideas into practice. You can start by downloading our Next Steps checklist to help you research, evaluate and compare colleges, apprenticeships, uni courses or jobs, so you can start making the right decision about what comes next. You can watch our bite-sized video filmed with local college and sixth forms about top tips for open days. Use our life skills flashcards to consider what could go wrong along the way to help you explore potential challenges and find out about solutions or skills you'll need to be ready to tackle anything. And there's lots of other things available in our schools and colleges hub for you to explore, from career pathway planners to sample college application forms, tips on applying for apprenticeships, school and college leaver CVs, and example personal statements for uni. So be sure to have a good look round and make the most of the resources available. Thanks for watching our daily reel, and be sure to check out our other reels available throughout the week.